today I've been I've just been in such celebration mode, and I feel like a broken record because Kian has been with me in the last two calls today. And I feel like I'm erupting with celebration today. And this space has meant so much to me, this study group space. And a few weeks ago, I was speaking to Clinton, and that PM needs a doorway space, and I brought it up with Nicole about having to have the space, and I told Clinton, I don't think I could possibly hold a study group space like this. And then the call last week happened, and the heartbreaking news that they were going to leave, and that this study group might have to take a break for 2 months. And I was like, oh no, I have to take it. And so I've been freaking out. I've been really freaking out since I said yes to this, and here we are now. And oh, I want to keep this heart beating, and I want to see you. I want to see you and have this moment to come together each week to do anything. It somehow doesn't even matter. And what the thing I was longing for today was I wanted to hear what is it that you're making that you want to let the village know about. We share the things in the PM events space, and there's a team up calendar, but to make the space and it's recorded and it'll be shared, that you can say with all your 5 bodies, what is the spaces that you're holding? What are the things that you're excited about that you want other people in the village to know about? Like if you had a megaphone in the middle of the village to tell everybody what are you making? What are you working on?
And celebrating.
And so yes, we can all celebrate together. Thank you.
Are you asking?
I'm asking, yeah, who wants
Okay.
to take the megaphone?
I will take it. So I have created a space and am creating a space Sundays at 11 a.m. Eastern time. I'm in the US in Boston for right now what's called ecstatic dance online, which is a very standard term. But what it really is a feelings journey with music and movement. And so I take you through all of the different feelings, and you can bring up your emotions. You're in your own space because it's held over Zoom. And so you can have like towels nearby or pillows or like anything you want to involve in the movement with you and have your own process while I'm also guiding it over the music. And it's been this thing that's been erupting through my being. Like I feel this magenta, sparkly energy that's just like coming up from Gaia. That's like, ah, like kind of what Jeff was explaining, like this celebratory, like overload. That's how I feel when I'm like delivering this, like holding space for this. It's like, it's coming through me. And the feedback I've been getting is that it's been something that is like so very healing and able to get a lot of clarity after you've moved so much energy. And I have a space right after, like it goes from the movement piece into a space of sharing and journaling and integration and like coming together full circle. So it's like having your own inner journey and then coming together, journeying together. It's been really beautiful how it's evolved, and I'm so excited about it. So thank you, Jeff, for actually opening this doorway for me to talk about it.
Yay. Sounds awesome.
Thank
How would we join if we wanted to join that? Is there a link? Do you have a Zoom?
Yes. So at first I created like an Eventbrite, and then I decided I'm just going to do a Calendly so that it has it like every Sunday. And so when people want to Like maybe you know in advance there's a Sunday you're available, you can book that Sunday and like get a ticket for it. And then I'm also going to be creating packages, like if you wanted to do it like a month and get like a cheaper rate for buying them up front. So I will send the link.
Thank you.
Thank you for asking.
What am I? I want to just celebrate that this Thursday I have the first live possibility team here in Nelson, and 4 or 5 people have signed up. It's the beginning of a new era in this area. And I feel there's something in me is so joyful because I was one of the founders of the thing that's the possibility team that started in Freiburg, and the team is still going 2 years later. And my vision for this thing is, because I will just stay here for about 3 more months, that we will start this thing and it will keep going even 2 years later. And I just say it into the ether so it may happen. And there's another thing which I want to invite people to, because at the moment it's just Habet and me who's in the team. I had this idea of creating a radical research team. And maybe this is the radical research team. I don't know. Maybe we've just these spaces overlap. But I wanted to create a radical research team where somehow of this sense there are these random these skills that people just practice at the edge of the edge, like using your hammer of assertion with 70% of anger, or where you practice like pulling out the rug under a space, and just where you practice the thing that makes usually stuff blow up. And I want to speak this invitation. We don't have a time yet for that team, but that team exists. And if you hear that, and if you feel called to join a radical research experimental lab where stuff can blow up, I invite you here.
That sounds awesome.
I want to take the mic because what I'm creating right now is sort of, yeah, blowing myself up. And I sense that I'm really I've been, offering all these spaces and being a great possibilitator and doing all the things and doing trainings every month and da 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 da. And I realize that there's so much like still underlying that's wobbly, like in my inner structure. And I feel as I take these steps, like these moments outside of the possibility management context, it's such a yeah, I realize my box has become so comfortable here in this space. And so it's important to check out other things, not to leave the community, but to like, put my toe out and be like, okay, so can I hold it, on my own? And I shared this also in another call. And I realize there's just so much that I'm just still gripping onto. And a lot of it is just these really like these scripts and stories that live in my head. And so I'm just, yeah, I want to blow myself up and 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 yeah, just keep kind of going towards hitting bottom. I'm Jeff's been in this energy of joy and celebration today, and I feel sad because I'm going at sort of, I sense in a different direction, at the moment. Like my trajectory is like just keep looking towards the bottom and keep going towards that. And yeah, and it's scary and it's alive, and just yeah, I'm creating my uncreation.
Hey.
And I'm celebrating that I can't stop saying how much I'm falling in love with this village. I I I I want I want to be in every space all the time, and not because it's because I'm so inspired. I'm really deeply inspired. I want to be with you. I want to be with you more. I want to celebrate. I want to fall apart and do messy things more. And I'm in a rage club that Leonhard and I started, and we have another man in there that's that's done rage clubs before and is sort of apprenticing to be a rage club space holder, and the space is so alive, and the men who have never done this before are so active, and they're sharing things, and I could really feel that because the space holders are alive, the team is alive, and there's this there's this thing of men working together, and even men that have not experienced anything like this before working together, and I love it. I love it. I love how when something cracks open in me, it cracks open in the space around me, and I don't have to push people around me anymore. Like I could finally get this sense of, I don't have to fight the things outside of me anymore. I'm not fighting right now. I don't know about anymore. Who knows? But right now it's just like breaking is flowing, and it's not. It doesn't. There's no resistance to breaking right now, and I love it.
There's order. I don't know.
I want to celebrate that I deliver something called Heart Match, which brings, it's also like a bridge space where people from possibility management can come, and people who know how to navigate feelings can join the space. And next month, it's been a year that I'm delivering this space. And yeah.
Wow.
The sad thing about that is that we have really a lack of men. It's it's basically I would say 80% women. So we have 1, 2 men sometimes. So one man is always coming. So, but it's, yeah, I don't know. That is that I had this conversation already with Nicole, how to bring men in that space. And as a connection is one of my bright principle, it really works. This is something I can bring in the space, that people connect and interact and are together with each other. And so by coincidence, it happened also that a training I was actually, it was supposed to be for just women and men, and it turned out that it became a couples training. And this I deliver now also for a fixed group, and now the group extended since, I don't know, 8, 9 months, something like that. And the feedback is really, it's incredible what these couples discover, and how alive the relationship is and all that. And there's a lot of joy that I can bring that in the space. And there's also a huge sadness that obviously I can deliver that, and I cannot create it for myself.
Mhm.
And yeah, that's my X on the map, that there's a lot of sadness. And and also a lot of pain where I go through, especially the last couple of days after I got the information. And I'm a little bit confused about this. I know that bright principles are going through me, and that is not, that doesn't mean that I have that, because I bring that in the space. And so in this case, it's like very obvious. But if anyone has an idea how I can bring, or how I can use the bright principle I bring also for myself, I would be glad about recommendations.
I'm doing that right now for myself. And I'm not sure that I can break it down, except that I'm finding like kind of my old life disappeared, and I'm creating this new life. And one part of that means that I need to get into a pool, because it'll be really good for me. And I have all these resistances around the chlorine and being indoors and all that stuff. And so recently I got into a different mind state, and I started playing. Like, I started playfully doing some of the exercises that I need to do. And I just started feeling so much joy. And then when I was swimming, it was just like, just noticing the joy of being in the water, just every little piece about being in the water. So yeah, I don't know. It's kind of, it's within myself. I have to activate it. And I have to find a way to activate it. And I'd been doing these, been going in the pool for a while, kind of very reluctantly. And so this past weekend was the first time I could do it with just all this joy. And yeah, and so for me, it was just getting in touch with this deep well of possibility, I guess. What can I do what can I create here that I'm really going to enjoy? And I did it last night or yesterday too, working with clay. I just went back to working with clay too. And it was this awful music was on, and my creativity isn't very, I've lost some of my creativity. And so I just decided to do an experiment, and I put earbuds in and I started playing oldies but goodies, and everything changed. My creativity came back. I was like dancing while I'm working. I've just had all this joy. It was just, I don't know, kind of adding something that encouraged me somehow. I don't know if that's helpful for you or not, but it's just exactly what I've been going through myself, and finding some success after working on it for several months.
Thank you.
I also want to just try something out, Dorothea. So when I hear you speak, I get the sense that this man that you're looking for is somehow still like inside of you. It feels like it's caught in an image. It's caught in a certain way he needs to be. And he's already there. That's my sense. He's already there, but at the moment he's not fitting the image that you have inside of you. And yeah, and there's something about, I don't think that you will need to do that either. Like you said, I cannot do it for myself in my life. I can do it for other people, but I cannot do it for myself. And there's something about, I don't think that you will need to do it for yourself either. Like you can also rely on your bright principles for that.
What do you mean, that I don't need to be active and can trust that the bright principle also works for me, or that someone else will channel that for me?
That's the point. Make the distinction between that. So by wanting someone else to have your bright principles and share with you the way you share with others. There's something in that, holding that versus just holding your bright principles.
So Mark, what you're saying is finding the joy in sharing what you have to offer.
That is definitely part of it. There's a way of looking that prevents us from seeing. And I think that's what Kian was relating to. If I'm looking for this image, then I can't see any other images but this image. And if it's not there, if it's slightly off, I'll miss it. So looking for a man that looks exactly XYZ, you're looking for that as opposed to being open to, I don't know what the guy's going to look like.
I want to interrupt because now there
Yes.
is an assumption in the space that I have this image. That was an assumption from Kian. And Mark, you go on this image now, and that does not fit to me at all. Not at all, because it's exactly that. It's more the other way around, that friends tell me you should have like a clear image how blah blah blah. I don't have that. That is just not true. And I want to interrupt because before I get all these good meant recommendations and I don't find myself here, doesn't
I
make sense.
feel my statement was I feel sadness that I didn't know that you've been holding this for a whole year. This is the
It's in
first I've
German,
heard of
that's
it.
why.
It's in German. Okay. Well, that makes it challenging for me anyway.
I think we lost Dorothea
I
there.
think we hit the high energy point. Yes.
Yeah.
We had a glitch in the system. Perfect.
A what?
We had a perfect glitch in the system.
Oh,
Your screen cut out.
Oh.
You froze.
oh, okay. So you did not hear what I said?
No.
Ah,
Again.
I said I was offering it once in English, but only Nicole was signing up. And after that, I never tried it again in English, and I continued in German where it worked. So, but maybe I try in English again. So we can see.
Would you let me know if you do?
Yes, I'll let you know if I decide to do it. Thank you, Mark.
I want to share one more thing, not about you, Dorothy, about I'm doing this. I'm holding space at the moment for a Rage Lab for cleaning out your energetic space, and I started this process a few weeks before the Rage Lab, or a few months before the Rage Lab, to start really pulling out of my relational space and my sexual space all these images and fantasies that I had about past relationships or about what I wish to receive. And I'm getting there are so many things inside of my energetic space that I'm not aware of, that I'm only aware of if I'm attending to them. I will only get what I'm holding as an image about, and I did it, and the relationship or this space of relating with Laura totally changed. And then I started deleting old pictures, and again there were all these fantasies connected to these old images that were somehow still playing out in me. Like I get value through having these images, and when I started facing into that, I started that I'm still doing this in this space with Laura. I'm still cultivating that idea that I get value through being in a relationship. And so there's something about cleaning out the space that seems so essential for being able to actually open oneself, myself, for connection.
Yeah.
That brings me to something I'm creating, which is a game world that creates more Rage Club game worlds in person, in geographical locations. And I'm teaming up. So far, I've got something started with Gemma Morgan and with Jorge and with Laura and Jacqueline, possibly, about delivering together side by side with other Rage Club space holders and apprentices introduction, like taste of Rage Club. So it would be something like what Kian just talked about, like this clearing out, using anger consciously to clear out relational spaces. And I have this list of spaces I want to deliver that are, you know, examples of an experiment that might happen in a Rage Club or even in an ETB or and maybe a lab that is a great example for someone to just follow the instructions and use their anger to do this thing. And then those introductions will be like once a week for however long they keep going. And in each one, it's pointing people to where the in-person Rage Clubs are happening. Like there's an in-person Rage Club happening in Nelson because Kian's been building a Rage Club game world there. And you know, there's one in Freiburg. Great, it's going strong. And then pointing to these other little hubs because I want an in-person Rage Club game world to exist here on the Sunshine Coast of BC. And so it's like, it's to really seed and spark new Rage Club participants and pair them up with other Rage Club participants and space holders so that in-person Rage Club can happen. And while I'm doing that, I'm also building, and it's part of it. It's part of kind of preparing the ground for a bridge house to exist on the Sunshine Coast. And I got this amazing gold from the, I don't know how they say it, On Tree or One Tree in New Zealand.
On Tree.
Where? Say it again.
On Tree.
On Tree. Thank you. Are you in that game world, Ellen?
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm in New Zealand, and yeah, I'm not in the hot middle, but I am certainly there with them. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. This is exactly it, where I got from a newsletter that they're the people, but they don't have the place yet. And I'm the other way around. I have the place and I don't yet have the people. So, but I also got that just because I don't have the people and not the specific place, like I don't have the house, I don't have the land, but there's all these possibilities. And so what I'm inviting other possibilitators to is like, come and join me for a week, a month, 3 months, and we'll figure it out. But before you come, the invitation is, let's start meeting online. And I'm holding a space on Fridays at 10 a.m. Pacific time. It's a co-work space for people who might want to come and join me in either the Rage Club game world or the Bridge House game world, or who are also building one somewhere else. And we can get together and we can be like, okay, this is what's on my bench, and we work, and then we do a checkout. And yeah, just because some of the sit down and be on my computer work, it doesn't get done because I have other spaces to go and people to be with and walks to go on. And so I'm kind of bringing in a team to bring in accountability that I get these tasks done. And it's so much more fun. And I also get more possibilities because when someone else is with me in the co-work space and I'm describing what I'm going to work on, I start getting all these possibilities, sometimes through the other person, but sometimes just in the space. And two more parts of that are that I'm going to go to a gathering that's happening on Salt Spring Island, which is between the mainland of Vancouver and Vancouver Island, so in the strait there. And it's so wild. While I was in Nelson to deliver Rage Club with Kian and Laura, I stayed with a friend and I met another person who said, "Oh, I think you should go. I think you might want to go to this gathering." And I looked at the website to find out who was putting it on. And I saw the name of someone that Paul and Annetta had given me, saying, "Find this guy. He did possibility management trainings with us." So out of that's how Echo put it all together. And then I decided to go. And yeah, I don't know, Mark, if you want to come up to Canada, or you, Phyllis, or Kian, if you want to come out to the coast the first weekend in April, because I want to be there with other possibility managers, including the guy who's starting it. I don't know how much he used distinctions and tools and maps
What's
from
the event?
possibility management. John might come, who Kian is living with right now. And then I also will be going to Seattle to join John and Annetta for a training they're doing the first weekend of May. And they told me, they said something like, "We're not affiliated with possibility management anymore." And I thought, yes, you are. And I feel scared that I have that. If they're saying, no, we aren't, and I'm saying, yes, you are, I don't know what will happen. And I want to be with other people who are building context for radical responsibility, whatever tools they're using. So you're invited to all of those things.
Go.
Can you post information
Go,
on the
Nicole.
Salt Spring Islands event?
Yes.
Thank you.
I was scared for when you, Nicole, would go, because I know it's like a fire hydrant of creation happening.
Is there any resistance to me eating the rest of my lunch in the space?
No.
Check it.
No.
Well, I sense there's a part of you that thought that would be a question you would need to ask. And if you listen to that part, like what would it say to you?
Don't eat.
And I'm really glad you brought this up, because this is this big research that I'm on right now, which is I'm noticing a lot of like talking about feelings, talking about the experience that's going on, talking about kind of it's like this shell, and I want to go inside the shell, like not talking about it, but being it, speaking it, letting that inside of it speak outwards, instead of as if I'm looking outside into the thing. And it takes the form of sometimes like, oh, I feel fear to say this right now. And instead it's like, okay, what is the thing? And how could I say it in a way that respects that fear and that keeps the fear there with it? And yeah, I'm really interested in this research, and that I want to leave the space for some more celebration from those who haven't yet, and then go into a practice with this. And I'm here like sweating, and I notice myself wanting this to be good so much that I'm going even a little too fast. So I need to say this to try to let this mask that I'm wearing fall off a little bit more.
Well, one of the
Thank you,
things,
Jeffrey.
yeah, I just listened to last week's call this morning. And one of the things that really excited me about joining is the discussion of using dangerous questions, or, speaking in ways to elevate the conversation, because we don't really practice that. And so that's something that I feel scared about, because it's I want to learn to do it better, and it's not a skill that I'm skilled in yet. So So I have fear there, but that's something though that I would like to do in this space.
Cool. Yes. I just want to give the space for any of the last celebrations, not the last ones, but the remaining celebrations.
Yeah. Yes.
What else that to get on the megaphone and tell the village that this is what you're working on, this is what you're discovering, this is what is most exciting to you right now?
I am taking part in a rage, taking back my warriors with Gabriela and Maria at the moment, and started 333. I have started a few times, but never made it all the way through. And now with the 6 weeks, I'm fully in it, and I have had such a breakthrough in my rage. I feel so, I have had a sense of a lion roaring, which I've never had before. Often my rage, I lie down and I hit something and used my towel to hit and or squeeze, and it was all like this, and I felt like my voice was sort of like a pressure valve somehow, and I couldn't do it inside because circumstance didn't allow, and I went outside by a river and there was lots of wind, and I made it I did a practice of just standing there, and every, I don't know, 10 seconds, something, I try to get my presence to my grounding cord and my center, and just play with a volume of my voice. And from singing, I know that my diaphragm is bringing the voice, and it was so liberating and so incredibly empowering to keep strengthening my grounding cord and using my center as a source of that voice that needed to come, and open my mouth wide and just really have this warrior's roar. And it was just I still get this tingling in me, that sense of the wind was howling and the river was just gushing and I was just roaring, and it was just like, it was just such an ecstasy of force. And I had such a joy of anger, and each time a little bit of compression was coming into my voice, or some tension, I reconnected with my grounding cord, and it was just such a different experience. I can totally recommend it. So yeah, just not lying down or getting this out, just blow it out, and just really. And I thought of you, Nicole, and I thought I have to tell you somehow, someday, somewhere.
Wow. Wow, cool. That's so much like what Jorge and I are creating, this relocating the source of your voice so that you have your real voice. This is so beautiful what you described. Thank you.
Yeah, and I often, through that, I got the awareness that I have mixed my anger work with fear. And I could just shelve it and say, okay, here's my grounding cord, here's my center, I'm with the elements now. And it was so beautiful, and such a different experience for me. And doing it outside and have no limitation or fear of making too much noise or be seen or whatever. I was just within myself. And the most beautiful thing of all was, next day I invited my husband for a rendezvous at the river, raging. We had a rage session. It was just, we had so much fun saying this. Okay, we're not going for a coffee anymore, we're going for a rage. So, yeah, it was stunning. And the most beautiful and afterwards was this peace inside me. It was so much space for this soft peace, love in me. That was so beautiful. I just so loved it. And yeah, this is my new go-to, finding joy and finding my love. And I want to share something else in the space because I feel so touched by it. We have today started a men's lab of 15 men here, and Michael Pörtner is holding. And there was always just a few below 10, and all of a sudden it's 15 men, and they are there and doing their work. I'm just so thrilled about it. And at the same time, we have a women's lab, and there are 18 women doing their lab with Anna. And this is so cool.
Mm.
And I had a lot of fear of missing out, but I will go to the village lab, which is happening in 10 days' time. So we're labbing away here in New Zealand, and the North Island team has all come down, and it just feels so buzzy at the moment here. And so, yeah, I just want to bring it out there into the world. That you are in spirit with them doing that work. They will join the last day on day and a half, and it's going to be very amazing, I think. So yeah, this is what I wanted to join from the top of the south in New Zealand.
Thank you for the
Unfortunately, I have to go in 10 minutes, but I will listen to the recording. And I really, really love that, Jeff and Jacqueline, that you are holding the space and this is still happening. And yeah, this is a funnel where everyone can connect in. We're doing our work and going back from there out. So yeah, I totally value that. So thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Ellen.
you, Ellen.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really hope to be able to do like not hold this because it's not me, it's really all of us together. I really hope that to keep being together for these 2 months. And I have I got from your share the first doorway for the radical relating practice, and it's about coming into the now so deeply that it's like that everything else is like what the way it happens for me is that the pixels of anything outside of now start like crumbling, and I don't, it's like this very psychedelic experience that I am so here that I couldn't imagine anything else existing. Like there cannot be any stories. And it's somehow about walking into the fear, walking towards it to inhabit this space of right now. And I don't have much more like coaching or context to make about it, but just that the proposal is to make breakouts and go in pairs and go one at a time, taking let's say 5 minutes each, and navigate to that place of being right now with each other as just a practice of you navigating yourself to that space and somebody else helping you, being able to support somebody coming into that space of now, the infinity of right now. That's really all I have for you at this point of my research. I want to develop this out more, and I want to hear what works and what doesn't work about this. And if you have any clues before we go already, would you share it here now before we go?
I'm noticing that even hearing you talk about that, it somehow it starts happening. Like I start wanting it and making it happen. And I don't quite know how I did it, but it started.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, so
I will leave now because I have for the 3-cell meeting at 9, and I will not go into the breakout rooms. But yeah,
It was
go
good
well
hearing your
in the
voice.
here.
thank you, Ellen.
Goodbye,
Go
Ellen.
well in the here
Hi,
now.
Ellen.
Bye.
Bye. I have to jump off in 10 minutes.
Hmm.
So I would like to do the exercise because it brings me fear.
So
So,
let's go now.
okay.
I had something. I don't have it anymore. 5 minutes each. Keep your own time. And yeah. Sorry, I'm freaking out right now. I'll see you in 10 minutes. See you in-
More practice time together. Whoopee. All right, you go first. Show them how it's done. Jeffrey.
What I'll do is just try to describe what's happening. And first, it's like I look at what's right in front of me, and it starts with one point of one thing, like looking at one point of one thing that I see, and then that's slowly like expanding and getting bigger to start to take in the whole landscape, and then starting to notice the more and more intricacies, like the shading of colors on your skin and the way that you're like taking breaths and it's moving in and out, and that expanding out is like how your lungs connect to your heart and how the heart has the blood vessels connecting out to the rest of your body. And it's like this is now, and then all of a sudden I stop and I'm just like, what else could possibly exist? And then all of the things like my wallet and my whatever trips, it's like these things just start like floating so far away, and I'm left in just this cocoon of you and like you being in front of me here, and I'm yeah just trying to talk and keep this happening at the same time. Like, and it's the terror starts coming of like, oh my God, from here, who am who where, where would I go from here? Like everything that I thought I was has to now die. Everything I thought I would go be has to die, and could I just let go of everything I have, everything, everything that's in my possession, and just completely start again from right here, right now? Like, what are even possessions? How it can't be possible. All I have is this thing here, looking at you with two pieces of cloth on my body. And it's like going in and out of like, there's this Jeffrey that's been becoming for years and has things to become, and there's nothing. There's just nothing. and like these eruptions of different appreciation and feeling things, and but none of it, there's none of it, it's like, oh, I wonder what she's thinking about me, I wonder what, it's just like, whoa, whoa, like 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 sitting and reading, and there's this book, and from this book these whole worlds are created, and I'm sitting doing something as simple as flipping the pages and looking at words in a thing, but somehow within me there's an explosion of visuals and worlds. And then in you I can also see, you know, other things looking at me through you.
That was fun. When I look into your eyes, tears flow from mine. Because this connection is divine. And I want to step out of time with you. And let something else come through. Just playing and having fun. In this one single moment. I don't need to know to grow. Your smile is so sweet. I feel the fear under the heels of my feet. Floating in the air. Sweat in my hair. I don't even care. I just want to stare. Beads of sweat making her face look like a diamond. Radiating infinitely. I don't want it to make sense. I just want to dance. I want to take off my pants. Being touchers. Loving my being. Who I'm being right now. Not knowing how it's gonna go. And it's just play, it's not a show. I feel my heart waves. I feel waves in my heart. Like a hand molding it, pulling it apart, and then smushing it back together again. Oh, and the waves keep coming.
They are a poet.
Thank you.
You guys had fun?
Yes.
You'll have to watch the recording.
Oh yeah, we get to see your breakout room.
Okay, after 1 hour, got it.
Not too much fun.
Else. I love doing that. I learned a lot.
Did you actually set the time for us all?
Nope.
And then was it my timer? No, it's okay.
There seem to be 2 timers.
Hmm.
There are timers happening?
I have a timer.
Okay.
And then at one point, or was your breakout room set for only 5 minutes and you extended it?
Nope.
It was 5 minutes each and keep your own time.
Adios, amigos. So much magic was just had.
Thank you. Goodbye for now.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, somebody else left. Okay.
There we go.
What I got was when Dorothea went first, and it was really cool because she was discovering the things that were keeping her from being in a small here and now. And then this question showed up, like, what would it take for that not to keep her from us being more in a small here and now? And then when I was having my turn, I noticed there was this kind of just wanting to do it. It started. And then I caught on with the breath of my body kind of going out again and then coming in. And then I started somehow I got that I could do that with my energetic body and gather even more of what wasn't here and now into the here and now. And then I thought, I said out loud, I said, I can't talk about it and do it at the same time. And then I wanted to try talking about it and doing it at the same time, and I did it. Yeah, and it was like a fishing net would go out, and sometimes when it came back, there was nothing in it, but sometimes there was kind of a sense of something was in it, something that I had out there was now here. And the room seemed to get brighter, though I don't think the light in the room changed.
I connect with this thing of talking about it while doing it, because my impulse was to just start was to let myself speak about what was going on as it was happening. And but it wasn't me trying to speak. It was just like this voice emerging from me saying what I was noticing. And as I was saying it, I was looking at Jacqueline, and elements of her started appearing to me that I was not able to see before, like little nuances in the skin color changes. Like, you know, we think that cats are the ones that have these like different stripes and colors, but humans totally have these. And like kind of like the octopus changing colors and skin textures, and I could see it all happening in her and talking about it at the same time. And the more I talked about it, the more it was expanding out to see even more subtle, very subtle elements of her physical and energetic body, really, like the energetic body expressing through her physical body. And it just kept expanding my view of her being in that each moment. And then there was sometimes I got stuck, like my thinking started coming in, so I try to think of the next thing, and I was just like say it, and then it would just start disintegrating as I said it, and then this voice would come out again, something like that.
I thank you. I'm very alive. I'm just like, I want to share. It was scary, crazy, like it was I don't know how to speak about this. So Mara went first, and I want to say one thing. Like we discovered in her process this thing about, hey, you can describe what's going on, or you can speak as it. You can speak as it. And when she started speaking as it, like she said one sentence, she started out with this, in our veins flows the same blood. And I just started crying, and like these goosebumps were going over my body. And we went onto this journey, which was like interdimensional, and like it was crazy. It was, I feel joy about the non-reasonableness of the journey. And then when I started to speak, I noticed the same thing wants to happen. I wanted to speak describing the thing, but when I started to speak as it, I felt like I was becoming very impersonal. I was like, it wasn't me so much in there, and I felt sad about it. So I tried what happens, and I said, cool in my eyes, in my ears, cool stuff. But then I brought myself more into the whole thing, because I felt like I was speaking these impersonal principles, just what these bright principles have to say. And when I brought myself more into the picture, I started feeling this deep sisterhood with her, and was just grieving. Like I felt this deep grief erupting. Yeah, about sisterhood and how I don't have that. And then I had the sense of, wow, like everything I'm saying, I'm creating, and I'm honoring creation as I speak. Like everything I say is a creation of something. and I can, with what I'm saying, honor also what is created. And that was cool. And I felt like, wow, actually, I'm so asleep usually to that each moment is a magical act of creation. Like each moment is this, I'm building with, I'm attending to the creation that is unfolding. And I can be awake to this, or I can pretend like I'm not.
Thank you. I was tending to creation. I this is the first time I spoke a poem. It was like a live poem just coming out of me. And it was so fun and it was so alive, and I could, yeah, I was like seeing like the sweat beads on Jeff's forehead, and it was like this, it was kind of psychedelic, like it's like crystals forming. And then I really felt this thing that happens in my heart sometimes, like I feel these, they're not really palpitations, it's just kind of like like something's happened there, and it was so amplified, like these waves, and it was like something is like waves like in my heart happening. And it was amazing. And I was just writing down like what is being in the now, and in that time I experienced so much noticing, like everything was like under a microscope, everything was really under a microscope. and and the field of noticing became so much more vibrant. It was like my eyes were like, in the world more. And then just this creation, I was like, I don't want to talk about, I just want to make a poem right now. And I did, but it wasn't like mental, like it was really like I felt myself holding space, like I declare this is a poem space. And then I let myself like flow inside of that, like it just keep, like it was like I have the sensation when feelings come up, it's almost like it's not really sexy, but it's like a vending machine. And it's like the Coke bottle drops down, or the feeling, the next thing comes up that needs to be, taken from the vending machine, and then the next thing, and then the next thing, and then otherwise it's just sitting there buzzing until the next thing. And so that's what it felt like with each like sentence. It was like, okay, and then the next, bottle dropped down, and the next bottle dropped down, and that I would just say the words out. It was like so, or like a Pez candy, if you know what that is. These are really terrible metaphors. and and it was fun. I just had fun. I felt joy. We laughed, and it was playful, and it was fun. And I just it just felt this like this go, like and at the end I'm scared about what I did at the end, but it's okay. I felt compelled to give Jeffrey a kiss, which is not so bad. And I it was like, just go, like, not, don't have all the hesitation. Should I do a poem? Should I not do a poem? Should I do this? Should I not do that? It was just like letting the impulses just go. And I feel really alive from that. And it was really, I had a lot of fun. And I also had fun experiencing you. Like it was fun not just to be doing it, to also experience it. It was like this is happening. Yeah, thank you.
Wow.
Yeah, I was while she was doing the poem, I felt the sun shining on me. I was like, whoa, and every line, I was like, I wonder what's gonna come next. I have no idea. It was so beautiful. I was completely and moved, and whatever you felt, it was going fully through me also. Like it was like a mirror. I felt like a complete mirror.
Cool.
Uh, uh,
That is also my experience from performance art, that if you really create in the moment and you don't know what is next and what is next and what is next, that is just so heating up the energy that is like you can take the people in the space on your inner journey, and it's some completely something else than thinking about something I could do that does not work. You have to be in presence and discover it, and bring the people into your discovery, at the same time, and that is like energetically very catching.
Thank you.
Mhm. Thank you.
Anything from the Mark and Phyllis department?
What was up for me as soon as I got into the space is that we were the only two that didn't speak. And what was up for me around that was I actually I don't think I actually said this, but I actually wanted an opportunity to speak, but you went into the other so quickly that I didn't get a chance. And I didn't say anything either. And then for me, so I just spoke what my feelings were in the moment. And yeah, and I felt like we had a really interesting conversation as a result.
Thank you, Phyllis. And I'm sorry that I missed it. Sorry that I didn't give you a chance.
Yeah. Well, part of the conversation between Mark and I was my sadness around not stepping into my bright principles with Dorothea. And instead, I think I did a partial share with you, Dorothea, and I felt a lot of sadness around it and anger. And yet, I also think I saw a different perspective. I didn't hear the male part. To me was insignificant. The piece that I heard you talking about was your bright principles, and not being able to enjoy your bright principles yourself, that you could offer them to other people, but not yourself. So did I miss something there? I guess I would like to take this opportunity to ask you that.
Mhm. So what I what I am still sad about is that something I can bring so easily for other people in the space, and what I can create for others, that
Yeah.
I'm not able to create that for myself. That there is some block or something not cleaned out, like Kian said, or that something is going on, that this happens for everyone besides me, but I'm the one who actually brings it.
What is this?
The connection in this case, the bright principle of connection.
Can I push on that just a little bit right now?
Sure, go.
So I see a lot of offers for connection happening in the space towards you. And I wonder if you see them. Do you see these offers that have been coming? Because what I've been seeing mostly is when the offer comes, you say, no, not that. No, no, not this. And I've felt this like squeezing in me inside of me, like, God, these hands are reaching out to you, and I haven't seen you grab the hands.
Okay.
So I don't know, would you reach out and grab the hands in the space that are so lovingly reaching out to you?
What comes is I have no idea how that might go.
Yeah.
besides that, what I did. So which is, I mean, I know that I have one strategy of I want to make sure that no one misunderstands something or gets an image from me that I'm not, so that they might be disappointed that I'm not what they think about me.
Yeah.
So that is one fear, to make things clear before, or to
Would you like a dangerous question about that?
Sure, go ahead.
Are you creating or are you sharing yourself? Are you creating your image because you want to make sure that they don't misunderstand? And there's something about that that feels like you're creating your image as opposed to being yourself.
Can you say again, creating, or what was the first thing?
So if I don't reveal my pain, am I authentic with another person? Instead, I show no pain. And I want to make sure that you get no pain. So I'm creating that as opposed to authentically, I have pain. So if I can share my pain, then I can be authentic. If I hide my pain completely and you see no pain, I've created a not real mark. And I'm presenting that to the world.
Mm.
This might be a great lead into the next practice, which is to, now that you've had this experience of letting yourself come into the exact now, navigate yourself there, and then from there create it's like create a poem together. Not about saying a poem, but create that relating in the now, from nothing that you've known before, nothing that you've said before, just from the impulses from right now with the person that you're being with. Again, this is, I see the confused faces, or the, I don't know what the hell he's talking about faces. I don't know either.
I have something, I have a hint or a clue, as you would call it, about it. And it's something like, yeah, how do you reach out and hold the hand and take someone step by step deeper into loving each other, but in a way you don't know necessarily, like you're walking hand in hand into the unknown with love.
Did you say create a poem about this?
I propose it's something more like a dance. Like you dance with each other.
Relating dance.
I have a proposal. I want to see if there's resistance. I propose that you randomly match us in breakout rooms.
Yes,
I don't know if you can do that with the computer or if you have to just sort of like blindly pick, but
I can do that. And there are 7 of us. So there'll be, when Jacqueline and I are in one space, so there'll be one group of 3. And we have, the proposal is to take 15 minutes to navigate this together and then come back. I will
first allow feedback on my proposal. Is there any objection to randomizing the breakout rooms?
No?
I thought they were already doing that.
yeah,
Oh, I missed it. Okay, thank you.
yeah, okay.
Now we're taking 15 minutes in breakout rooms.
So take 15 minutes, and I will just close the room at the end of 15 minutes. So you'll have an extra 30 seconds of time to use as you wish, and then we come back to the main room. Okay.
Good.
Go.
See you in 15
Go.
minutes.
Hello.
That was random, I swear.
It was. I concur.
I'm hung up on the curtains behind each of us.
And I feel the edges of Nicole's smile, patiently waiting and holding the fear.
Mhm.
Words rise and then go back inside me. So beautiful.
Mhm. But what you just said is like trickled down my spine. Delighted.
And I recall the word divine.
This fire hydrant's good for showers too.
Showering with love and creation.
It doesn't rhyme, but it's just a blessing.
Not all blessings rhyme.
Mm.
The sounds of joy are needed too.
There's so much light here.
Mm. I feel us breathing together like a pulse, a shared pulse. Almost hard to breathe in the intensity.
In a sense, I could almost figure out now how to leave my physical body and go fly to be with you.
Hmm.
I haven't quite caught where the hook keeps me in it.
I keep departing, and it's like, what would I say? What would I want if it was the last time we spoke? And when you said floating here, it's like, yeah, that.
Yeah. Say the words. Say the words of love in case it is the last chance. I'd be so mad.
And you're just right here. I feel you
So
here.
close. It's so close. Until I click out of the call. I hate that. But I love it. Being in this world here is part of it.
So much that I want to say, and it just keeps getting jumbled up. And I'm rejoicing that I can sit here with you both, with Jacqueline and with Nicole, and be jumbled up and be okay and be sad and happy and terrified. And
You said you might leave your physical body. My connection to each of you is not physical. Somewhere else. Feel this hand in my heart. It's like right here. I can feel you.
I love the tastes of death I've been getting with Bear, through Leslie, with Ingrid, and close to her, with friends from my family world.
I feel sad that people die.
I wish you could meet my dad. He died a long time ago. It's weird to know him so well still, not be able to introduce him to people. Maybe there is a way that that gets to happen.
I feel Beth here. I talked with her today about her dad who passed away and how she's going to make a space to tell him some things because he's still somehow here. I feel angry that the now feels so limited. It's so limited. It's like only the thing I can see or touch. But there's so much more things happening in the now also that are right now, not in the future or the past, right now.
there's just so many layers happening inside of me right now, and it's like I want people so badly to be part of this, and I, it's just like this wanting so bad is I hope I'm not like destroying it with this I don't know, expectations, and I'm like terrified that that I don't have it. I don't have this. I don't have what it takes. That I don't have what it takes to be part of a village. I don't know what I would be. I'm sitting here and I'm so scared. I'm so scared that this is on recording and that this is people are gonna see this, and just nobody's gonna want to come here, and I like have failed you, you know. And I have such a wonderful team. It's like I don't know how to use this team. I keep closing my eyes, like it's like this automatic going away thing. I was like fighting, like, no, I want to be here with you. I don't want to be over there.
Thank you. Failure just seems such a silly concept.
Don't have to fight to be here.
Yeah, I feel there was like all this space opening and it's cracking. Oh.
I see alligator eyes.
Are you sure they're not shark eyes?
Some kind of magical creature from the aquatic world. Yes.
With big teeth.
Hmm. Hmm. The fear just spiked, knowing this space will end when you pulled open the message.
I'm glad I got to have this time with both of you together here.
Mm. Mm.
I love this team. I really do.
So cool to have a life that's teeming with teams.
Indeed. Indeed.
For another purpose.
Yeah, thank you.
For a purpose. Okay.
Experiencing you all so zoomed in right now.
I enjoyed the conversation with Dorothy, and I thought, and it was perfect that we got paired up. And we started out dancing. And kind of, just sharing what dance, the bigger constructs of dance. And I really felt like we were in a dance together when there were words to it too. And yeah, I really enjoyed particularly starting the conversation out that way. It was very there was a physical component to it too. We were really dancing, and there was, because we're in separate spaces. It was very energetically based, which I enjoyed. Yeah.
Hmm. I had this beautiful journey with Mark where yeah, I saw Mark somehow as his being's job in the universe. And it touched me, like, to see I'm often in my head thinking I know people, thinking, oh, like this and this person. But when I allow myself to discover a person anew with all that what they are, also on levels that I'm not aware of with my day-to-day awareness, let's say, like, there's so much beauty in people, in you, Mark. And I want to share. Can I share this? I feel scared to share that.
You have my permission to share.
I saw Mark as this. He's in the library of the universe, writing a book about one flower's life. And there's this beautiful humbleness and appreciation for the details and that quality. And that's so much of what I see in Mark's being, and I'm just very moved to connect with that aspect. And I have this story that we all have these jobs that we're doing in the universe while we're here. At the same time, we're doing important job that the central job governance of the universe has given out. Yeah. Anyways, and then I feel sad right now. I feel sad. Yeah, connecting with you, Mark. I think it's just touching something in me. And also then afterwards, in Mark's turn, he shared a bit about what the space that he's in, and make me understand something about you, Mark, that I didn't understand before. the space that you live in. And sometimes I feel the sadness about, sometimes I think I leave people behind. I'm just like, okay, this person is there, I don't bother. Like, and I feel like I did this a bit with you, Mark. I feel sad about this.
Thank you, Kian.
Yeah, and there's something in it about we cannot leave, like, that's a story maybe, but there's a sense that nobody will be left behind. Like that's like how maybe there will be people left behind, but I wish there would be nobody left behind.
Mm.
I found myself being really trapped inside of my box in this time with Jacqueline and Nicole. And I was like fighting so hard to get out, and it wasn't working. The fighting, like, and trying to push out, it wasn't working. And I don't know. I I don't think I got I don't think I let them see my heart really.
What about now, Jeffrey?
I don't know. There's like something in front of it, and the more I try to fight it or look at it or talk about it, the thicker it becomes.
Go doing it. The sense there's one more sentence that you can say from this.
I want to be here with you.
Jeffrey fought, try, I feel sad because.
I feel sad because I'm here. I don't know.
Yeah, you're here.
And you have a wall over your heart.
I just want to say, like, I very much feel you in my heart right now, Jeffrey. I
Feel
feel
sad
like-
Yeah.
because I have a wall in front of my heart. Thank you, Mark.
To me, you're sharing your heart
Yeah,
right now.
yeah.
Jeffrey, I have a question for you if you want. Was there in these 15 minutes a pressure that said, I have to be extraordinary or I have to create extraordinary space? Was there an expectation you had towards yourself?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, and I was seeing it and I couldn't remove it. I was like trying to step aside from it, and it just kept, it was like this infinite wall that like every step I took to the side, it was still there.
Mm.
But just that didn't work. So now, yeah, I have that.
A bridge that works for me is to not judge the ordinary. It's like in the the same with the completion loops. You know, you got a ping, a ping, a ping, and if you start in the ordinary and you just say, ah, yes, it's this and it's this and the weather is nice, you know, whatever it might be, that this creates the trust that gives you like the possibility to jump into extraordinary. If you judge this and say, no, I want to go there, then yeah, at least for me, I can say then the bridge is missing. Then I cannot go over the bridge. I miss the trust to really go, the buffer zone.
Thank you.
I can't believe what's happening. Thank you for creating this. It's very extraordinary. And it's so funny and strange to see you in the place that I often see myself, fighting to be here. And just having this practice, I feel it's like, yeah, this thing is coming alive in me that I love words and creating with words, and it's so fun. And I feel like I'm at like the bottom of a teardrop or a water drop, and like at the bottom of it, it's like I'm protruding out, like I'm really here. Like when I came back, I could all see all of you, like your energetic bodies, and like exuding, and really feel you, and touch you. And behind, and like the top of the water drop is like all the stories and all the emotions and everything. And it's like it's still noisy back there, like this white noise is back there, but I'm like here, up, protruding like out into it. And I felt that here in this space, and also with the two of you, Nicole and Jeffrey, this sensation of, yeah, like, I had this anger, like the now it feels so limited, to what is physically here. And there's so much more like than just that. There's just so much happening. And I've just been so scared to just be in it. I'm scared to get lost in the now. I'm scared to not, hold it together and have everything planned. And when I let myself go there, it's so, I can just be with you so much more without all the white noise that pulls me out. And I can really
What
feel
scares you to get lost in the now?
how to lose track of time and not be on top of things and not be logical and not be structured and not show up for my calls and be chaotic. And also really like alive, like maybe I won't even be able to handle how alive it could be. And so often, Jeffrey, there's so often that I want to fight you about things, and right now I'm just so grateful. I'm really grateful to you for creating this.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. I want to share one fear and then I need to go. I have this fear that somehow being with the block is not extraordinary. Like in what you say, Jeffrey, with being with sadness is not extraordinary. And to me, I just feel so much love being with you in that.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't see it until Mark said until you said the line, and then it was like, and then oh, it's like, oh, there it is. And I was just I'm so glad to have 6 other eyes, 12 other eyes on the situation. Yeah, I love it. I really love it. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, Kian.
I can.
I can.
Mm. I'm glad that Dorothea was here and shared what she shared, and that Kian was here and shared what he shared. I have challenge relating to people in the present moment. I don't know how to invite people to not be in words. And then it becomes a word game for me. Like, what are the right words? How do I say this? Kian started with just eye gazing into me during our session. And it's like, that's the doorway to me. But in our culture, that's taboo unless you're in a relationship with that person already.
Mm.
So I have accepted that game world, which then confines me. Even now, it's like I protect my heart. I know my heart's broken and I protect it anyway. The experience that Kian described, whenever I actually connect with a conscious person, that's the experience. They do the same thing over and over, and it's brilliant. And it's almost like, oh, here's a taste of everything you want, and it's gone. Because that person is only in a momentary relationship with me. And I'm challenged by that. And I just am, I go numb. I go numb to hold myself together from the lack of a regular source of that connection. So, and Jeffrey, your thing spoke to me also.
Hmm.
Like, I hear your heart. I hear your heart wanting something and protecting itself because it's not available or something. That's what I feel. That's me. And I don't know if that reflection's accurate for you. So I can offer clarity and love to others, and it never seems to work for me. So I was really relating to Dorothea's cry for help. It's like, yeah, let's solve this one. This would be a great one to solve because it really sucks otherwise. right now, my thing, if I had shared earlier, my experiments are in a healing group that meets every Monday from 6:30 to 8:30. And I go in and I'm a massage healer and I do massage healing work with the people who come. And I don't get paid. There's no payment for it. And there are 5 or 6 other people who are also volunteering their time to do healing work. And my experiment is navigating around that. What does that mean to me? How is it that I keep going back week after week? What is it that I get doing that? And how do I get that into my life? Because when I do that, the people have amazing experiences, and it's like I complete my bright principles or something. And that's nourishing, but it's not sustainable. That's, I guess, how I feel in this moment.
So
Thank you.
thank you,
Which,
Mark.
which piece of it is not sustainable, Mark?
That quantity, that 2-hour window is not enough.
Hmm.
And and there's a way in which I block receiving. Like it's like I keep doing it and there's something there. It's like showing up for a banquet and just eating bread. So
It's somehow a wonderful closing remarks, because these are the 2 hours that we get in radical relating study group. And yeah, I'll see you next week here and see what other experiments you do and what other experiments we can come up with.
Thanks
looking
for
forward to
having
it.
the courage,
Thank you.
Jeffrey.
Thank you, Jeffrey. Thank you, Jacqueline, for holding space.
And thank you everyone for showing up.
You- Yeah.
You're holding space too.
Thank you.
No, you take the appreciation. No, you take
You guys need 2 computers.
Well, it's story.
Exactly.
I just want to say that when in my time with Dorothea, she did let me in. I yeah. So
Hey.
thank you for letting me in. See y'all.
Bye for now.
You. Bye.